Welcome back, folks, for yet another high-flying trip down memory lane, as only Star Wars Worst the First can bring it to you. Now, this latest list covers an offering so bad that it pretty much did for Star Wars figures what E.T. the Extraterrestrial did for Atari. If there is one good thing that can be said for this toy line, it's that it's mercifully short. With only 6 figures released to go along with the Ewoks cartoon series, we should be out of here in no time. Number 6. We start off our abbreviated list with Princess Nisa, the adorable pink hooded love interest of Wicked Wisteria Warwick. Wait, no, they never made her. Our list begins with Wicked's best friend, T-Bow. Wait, he's not here either. Are there any Ewoks on this Ewok action figure list?
Hello? 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 Hello?
At number 6, we find Urga Lady Corniche, whose name probably tells you everything you need to know about this awful figure. For the uninitiated, Dulocs are addle-brained adversaries of the Ewoks, cooked up for the cartoon, that resemble the nightmare pairing between a gremlin and a snork. Urga, with her bow legs, lack of accessories, and the face of a bad Pirates of the Caribbean extra, does very little to justify her existence. Loose mint Urgas go for $80, with carded mint examples priced at around $110. As the lone female Duloc ever featured on Ewoks, we hate to ask how there were so many of these wonky beasts running around Endor. An even better question is, how did 4 of these guys end up as action figures? Poor Urga might be the worst figure on this list, but she's hardly the only culprit in this action figure debacle. Number 5. Up next is Morag the Witch. Oh, wait. No. Kenner opted instead for Duloc Shaman, a character so lame even Kenner didn't know his name. Or maybe they were just too embarrassed to write Ewok on his card back. Kenner spent a lot of effort on his face paint to ensure Duloc Shaman looks like a complete dork.
He did.
Throw in a severed hand necklace and a staff bearing an object that we at Star Wars Worst the First are even too embarrassed to speculate on, and you have the makings of a complete action figure disaster. Loose mint Duloc Shaman goes for around $80, with carded mint examples priced at $140. There is so much more about this figure we can go on about, but you have eyes. Perhaps the more worthy Morag and her compatriot second release figures would have seen the light of day had Kenner not decided to release this chump first. Number 4. And now, finally, someone you may have heard of. Wicked W Warwick makes his embarrassing appearance on this list. At number 4, his ridiculously gigantic face and judgmental stare are only accentuated by a lazy paint job. The original Play School Wicket was better. The original plush Wicket was better. Even this drugged-out Spanish PVC figure is better. A PVC figure! Come on, Kenner. What is your problem? Loose mint Wickets go for $250, and the carded mint examples are priced around $300. Well, at least he's got some collector's value, because otherwise Wicket's Ewok cartoon action figure is the worst. You're looking at the action figure that may have single-handedly delayed the production of another Star Wars movie for over a decade. We hope you're happy, Kenner. Number 3. With such a small release, you'd think Kenner would have had little room for a generic army builder, but we still end up getting Duloc Scout. Couldn't Kenner have delivered a flog? What about a Montague? No, you get this guy instead. He's not bad for an unnamed Duloc, with some really nice face paint detail and a small tree trunk to beat your other figures with. Maybe they just couldn't convince any other action figure Ewoks to hang out with this creepy Wicket, so they just went ahead with a generic bad guy. Loose mint Duloc Scout goes for $90, with carded mint examples priced at $120. When we say that Duloc Scout is in the better half of this list, we're certainly damning it with faint praise. He isn't the worst figure they could have or did produce, but with such a limited release, it's hard not to see Duloc Scout as a wasted spot on the Kenner toy roster. Number 2. Next on our hit list is a detailed, if stubby, representation of Logray, which stops shy of breaking the top of this short, unimpressive list. The exact place where it stopped is pretty apparent. Did Kenner just run out of paint? Or did they intentionally leave his legs pink? The most probable answer was that they just didn't care anymore and forgot. Tosh tay, Kenner. Tosh tay. Loose mint Logray goes for $150, with carded mint examples priced around $220. This is the best Ewok in the Ewok toy line? Yes. Yes, it is. Logray is lucky he was racing in a short field, because there is little else that would have landed him at number 2. Number 1. Can you be first and last at the same time? Worst to first would argue yes, in this instance, as King Corniche claims his crown as the best figure in the Ewoks line and the worst figure to ever garner the title. King Corniche shares the impressive paint details on his face with the rest of the Dulocs. He also sports an inoffensive staff and cool shoulder armor that looks like it was ripped right off of the backs of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. His spine headdress is also a nice touch. Loose mint King Corniche goes for $90, with carded mint examples priced around $140. For better or worse, this is the best Kenner decided to offer to go along with the Ewoks TV show. It should be pretty obvious which side of that argument Star Wars Worst to First falls on. King Corniche could have easily ended up last on any number of our other lists. Despite intentions to release another round of both Ewoks and droid figures, these did so badly that it put the kibosh on Star Wars figures for the immediate future. Well, that's all for now. We'll see you again soon for another Star Wars Worst to First Countdown.